Finally, the stove is heating up. Alex Verdugo is going to the evil empire. He has been traded to the Yankees, and the craziest part about that, I'm almost positive that Alex Verdugo and the Yankees fan base, they don't like each other. But just because the Yankees made that trade does not mean they are out on Juan Soto. We have an update on that, and also a borderline comical update on Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. Shohei, he had one rule: do not leak the fact that we took a meeting, and Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, he just spilled the beans. He told everyone that they took a meeting with Shohei Ohtani. I mean, it felt like a skit out of The Office. It was that bad. So again, a lot to talk about in today's recap, and do me a favor so you don't miss any of these going forward. Click that subscribe button because we are so close to 500,000 subs. Now, we have one small story before we talk about Ohtani, Verdugo, and Soto. Look at this. The Guardians, they somehow, by the graces of the baseball gods, got the #1 overall pick in the 2024 draft. My mind was blown when I saw this, and also I didn't even know that the draft was going on. That's bad on my part. But also, is it bad on my part, or is it bad on Major League Baseball's part for not really marketing the draft? I don't know. So as a Guardians fan, even though I'm incredibly hyped to have the first overall pick, this came a day after it was reported that the Guardians will not be budging on payroll in 2024. So the trend for the Guardians has been trade all of your best players, do not spend any money, and just hope that your pitching staff can carry you throughout a season. It's super annoying, and I'm just so sick of the Guardians kind of getting bailed out by the baseball gods. They need to suffer a little bit. Am I a bad fan for saying that? Real quick before we talk about the Verdugo trade, look at this. Dave Roberts, he spilled the beans on Shohei Ohtani's meeting with the Dodgers, and the crazy part is he literally thought about it. Like, his conscience was saying, do not leak this, do not leak this. He paused for 4 seconds, and then he just said, I'm going to leak it.
It's a good possibility. I think that, yeah, we met with him. You know, I don't want to, I'd like to be honest, and so we met with Shōhei.
You almost can't even call it a leak because he paused. He looked off into the distance while his screaming thoughts and conscience said, do not leak this, Dave, do not, and then he leaked it anyways because in the spirit of Christmas, he's just above telling white lies. You don't even have to tell white lies, Dave. You don't have to lie. Just say no comment. I'm respecting the privacy of the player. It's not rocket science, Dave. So yeah, I just wanted to show that real quick because I, for one, thought it was hilarious. I don't know what he's thinking, but maybe the Dodgers think they're so out in front of everyone else that they can leak whatever they want, and Ohtani, he's still going to come and be in Dodger blue. Here we go. Breaking news. The New York Yankees are acquiring outfielder Alex Verdugo in a trade with the Boston Red Sox, a division rival for right-handers Richard Fitts, Greg Weissert, and Nicholas Judice. Let's talk about the last three guys real quick. So Greg Weissert was not very good in his debut season with the Yankees, but if we take a look at his AAA stats, he was borderline unhittable, and he was a strikeout machine. So considering he's about to be 29 years old, he's kind of a project with a really high ceiling. I get why the Red Sox wanted him. I don't know who Richard Fitts is, but he had a 3.48 ERA with the Yankees in AA. He had 163 strikeouts and 152 innings, so he's definitely a project as well because he tends to give up a home run a little bit too often, but he's a tall kid, 6'3", but he's not as tall as the next guy. Nicholas Judice is 6'8", so there's not a lot of stats on this kid because he was drafted in 2023 in the 8th round, but there you go. Greg Weissert, Richard Fitts, and Nicholas Judice, they are going to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for Alex Verdugo. I know that Alex Verdugo is not Juan Soto, but if you take a look at the boxes that had to be checked by the Yankees in the offseason, they needed a left-handed outfielder. They just got that. Not only did they need an outfielder that was left-handed, they needed someone that doesn't strike out and plays great defense. Alex Verdugo does all of that, and he is essentially a walking 50 extra base hits. In 2021, he had 13 home runs and 32 doubles. In 2022, he had 39 doubles, and then last season in 2023, he had 37 doubles and 13 home runs to go along with 5 triples. So yeah, the walks decreased in 2023, but the power, it seems like it's increasing with age. He's about to enter his age 28 season. Maybe he pops off for 20 home runs with that short porch in Yankee Stadium. Just as Alex Verdugo is a rental because he's a free agent after the 2024 season, same for Juan Soto, but on paper, Verdugo, Judge, Stanton, the reports are right now that Stanton has lost a lot of weight, so maybe he's healthier. Rizzo, he was really good before that concussion. Maybe he bounces back, and other bounce back candidates like Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez. On paper, I feel like this team is good enough, but good enough is not good enough in New York. So we've talked about the Guardians in today's recap, and maybe that's why I'm just not seeing eye to eye with the Yankees fan and their perspective, because as a Guardians fan, you have to take what you can get. As a Yankees fan, you just flat out take. I mean, I remember back in the day, I walked into a 7-Eleven and there it was, a magazine cover of AJ Burnett, Mark Teixeira, and CC Sabathia, and I thought to myself, my team can never do that. So even without Juan Soto, I feel like Alex Verdugo is a welcome addition because he checks off so many boxes. You get to keep Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, Michael King, Drew Thorpe, Johnny Brito. I like this team, but then again, if you're a Yankees fan, you're so delusional about the fact that you can win a World Series every single year. I have to tip my cap because you really think that you can win every single year. And I don't mean any disrespect to Yankees fans by calling them delusional, but you have to admit, you genuinely in your heart think that you deserve to win the World Series every single season. You really do. And again, maybe Yankees fans are right. They were calling me out on social media for saying, wow, it must be nice to be a small market fan because you have no expectations. We have expectations. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're right. And yeah, you have to admit the fact that Juan Soto is a generational hitter. You're going to have to give up Michael King and Drew Thorpe if you want to add him to the lineup. But then again, he's a rental. He's also a client of Scott Boras. Scott Boras does not like to do extensions. And it's not like the Mookie Betts trade where the Dodgers almost could guarantee an extension. Juan Soto, he could walk next year. And then you lose Juan Soto. You lose Alex Verdugo. You don't have Michael King or Drew Thorpe. That sucks. Call me crazy, but if I'm Brian Cashman, I would keep Alex Verdugo until Jason Dominguez is healthy. I'd also give a fat bag to Cody Bellinger and Yamamoto. I feel like Bellinger on that squad, you trade Verdugo when Jason Dominguez is healthy. You have Yamamoto in that rotation, so maybe a guy like Nestor Cortez becomes expendable. I wouldn't mortgage my future for the chance of getting Juan Soto for 1 year. But then again, I'm not a Yankees fan. I did not just experience one of the worst seasons in Yankees history, but also Yankees fans, I hate saying this, but you don't really care about context. You weren't the worst team in baseball, even though you suffered one of the craziest injury seasons ever, and also regression was a big thing in 2023. I don't think you were that bad. But again, the Yankees, they're accustomed to winning, and the reports are right now, even though they traded for Alex Verdugo, they're still very much in the running for Juan Soto, Yamamoto. They could break the Steve Cohen luxury tax threshold set last year at $297 million. The Yankees, they're about to say full send and just go for it. And I respect it because as a Guardians fan, I'm complaining about them not spending money, and now the Yankees, they're doing exactly that. The Yankees are kind of like the anti-Guardians. They buy players as opposed to developing players. Like, if we really think about it, Aaron Judge is really the only all-star homegrown player that I can remember in quite some time. It can't be Gleyber Torres because he came from the Cubs. I mean, yeah, the Yankees just don't do development. So yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense that they're going to trade their prospects. I think I just convinced myself to trade for Juan Soto because they don't develop prospects well at all. So that does it for the Verdugo, Soto, and Ohtani news. Some other smaller things I do want to talk about. Marco Gonzalez, he was just traded in the Kelenic trade to the Braves. He went from the Mariners to the Braves. Now he's going to the Pirates, and all the Pirates had to give up was cash. So yeah, this comes as no surprise. I think that even he knew he was going to get traded. Now, this has not happened just yet, but apparently the Orioles are in on Craig Kimbrell. Some other updates on some relief pitchers. Kirby Yates, he is going to the Rangers. Chris Davinsky, he is staying with the Rays, so he was traded to the Rays, and he was really good with them. And then last but not least, Eric Fetty, he is coming back to Major League Baseball. I think he won a Cy Young with the KBO Dinos last year or something like that. He had a 2 ERA. He was really, really good, and now he gets $15 million over the next 2 years. So that does it for today's recap. I know we kind of ranted in today's video, but I had a lot of fun. And remember, guys, click that subscribe button. I would almost say turn on those bells because a Juan Soto trade could happen as soon as this video comes out or over the next few days. You don't want to miss it. So catch you guys on my podcast. Click that over there. It's my podcast.